This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics, including mental health, alcohol and substance use, as well as suicide. It may also include strong language. The viewpoints expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised. If you or someone you know needs support, please reach out to a trusted professional or a helpline. Welcome to Twist the Throttle, the podcast where we crank open the throttle on life's toughest rides. From mental health struggles to life on two wheels. We're here to have real, raw, unscripted conversations that break the stigma and help you navigate the road ahead. So grab your helmet, hit the road with us, and remember, it's still okay to pump the brakes. Together, we're shifting gears on mental health. Here's your hosts, Ambo and the Prez. Before we dive into this interview, we want to acknowledge that some of the conversation touches on a personal incident involving our guest that they prefer not to discuss in detail. While we may leave some gaps for those unfamiliar with the story, out of respect for their wishes, we will not be addressing it further here.
All right, welcome back, Twist the Throttle. Another week's passed, and today we got a new guest, FAFO. How are you, mate?
Doing all right, mate.
That's
How
good.
we all going?
Yeah,
Very
good,
well, mate. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So I've known you a couple of years now, mate. We've worked together a couple of different jobs. We've got to know each other pretty well over the years.
Yeah, some would say a little bit too well.
And you met me through the club, which is good.
Yep.
Been a pleasure.
Oh,
Very
definitely
good.
been a pleasure.
All right, so we're going to start off most of our interviews with a little bit of an icebreaker here. So what type of bike do you ride?
Ride a Harley Street Bob, 2020 model, stage 1 upgrade. Not an Indian, so it's a bonus. Nothing against Indians,
No,
just a little bit.
it's an ongoing joke in the club. So what's your dream bike?
Dream bike would be the S1000RR BMW.
Oh, yeah.
Sports bike.
Yeah.
Do miss the sports bike. Love the Cruiser though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I do love those thousand
Yeah.
beamers. They look. I'd love to take one for a black one day.
I've ridden one before. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
But nicest 1000 I've ridden is probably the R1.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice, clean.
You had the R1 for a while, didn't you?
No, I had the R6.
Yeah,
R6, yeah.
Yeah. Too much power for the road though.
Yeah.
Good fun.
What actually got you into riding?
So, brother-in-law was a big rider. He started a group ages ago and got talking to me. I was riding dirt for a little bit. Never really found my confidence with dirt. And
Yep.
then goes, "Why don't you jump on a road bike?" I go, haven't really thought about it too much. All of a sudden, my wife, my in-laws, my other sister-in-law, and them bought me a voucher for my birthday
Oh, wow. Cool.
and went, "You know what? You're getting your learners whether you like it or not." And I went, "All right, no problem."
That's awesome. Forced
Got-
into it. That's
yeah.
all right.
Got my learners,
Yeah.
bought a motorbike, bought a Ninja 300, got it delivered to my work.
Hey, cool.
Father-in-law's a rider, and I went, "You're probably riding this home for me, mate. I don't know how I feel riding from Sunshine to Melton back then."
Yeah.
And then I went, "I'll take for a ride on my lunch break." And then after that, finished work, and I go, "I'm riding it home."
Ah, good. Fell in love.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Once you get your butt in the seat, the confidence goes up pretty quick.
Yeah. Sometimes it goes too quick.
Yeah, well, as I remember riding with you the first time, I was on the old 650, you were on the 600 sports bike. And you passed me about a little bit more than the speed limit officer. But
Yeah, we were doing the speed limit.
yeah, we just got from zero to the speed limit real quick.
You're in fifth gear and I was still in first.
That's right,
I
yeah.
remember that much.
I haven't actually had to go with R6 or R1. I do remember the ride, and the one of the raw guys went. I was into the VFR. I was
Yeah.
hammering along, and he come straight past me. I was like,
Yep.
"Fucking hell!" I was standing still.
We've talked about a few of the local clubs in the episodes we've done so far. MNW did come up. Your brother-in-law, unfortunately no longer with us.
Yep.
Through a tragic accident. There was talk of possibly resurrecting his old R1. Is that still on the table for you? Or?
It's a hope
Yeah.
at the moment. If there is the opportunity, I'd definitely put my hand up,
Yeah.
regardless of how much is needed for it.
Yeah.
Find the money for it.
It's in boxes at the moment, or
Sorry?
it's in boxes at the moment, or is
No, it's
sitting in the
parked in
shed?
there.
parked
Yeah.
It's
up. Yeah.
it's it's probably the last thing of his
Yeah.
to let go, and
Yeah. It's
And
I
it's
did say.
such a big part of who he was.
yeah, correct,
So that's why you want it.
exactly,
Yeah. It deserves to be ridden, that bike.
correct. At the end of the day, it's a motorbike.
Yeah.
It's got to be ridden, not just
yeah, looked at.
memorialized.
Yeah, exactly.
So we talk about with our rides, do you have a favourite destination or a favourite ride that you'd like to do? Or
I just enjoy the ride.
yeah,
Funny enough, I don't get pleasure just riding out on my own.
yeah,
I don't get pleasure just riding to and from work. I know a lot of people do. They enjoy the ride. We work together. I've probably ridden the bike there 4 or 5 times.
yeah.
I don't get the joy in it. But if you say after work we're going for a big ride, I'm like, yep, sweet.
Yeah.
Regardless, rain, hail, shine, I'll ride the bike there. Anywhere I go with the club
Yeah,
is phenomenal.
I've said the same thing. It's not so much a destination for me; it's who I'm with.
Correct.
Yeah, if I could go for an ice cream 20 minutes up the road, or I can go.
Oh, I just love fucking riding, mate.
Yeah.
It took me 8 minutes to get to work today. It's normally a 15 minute. I was running late.
So the bike community, we just mentioned our club, we've mentioned MNW in the past. What has the bike community and the support been given to you over the years? What's your experience with the crossover between mental health and motorbikes?
With mental health and motorbikes, it's especially with the groups and the club itself, there's always someone to ride with. There's always someone to talk to. As you mentioned, I was big in MNW before I jumped into the Rust Nuts.
I was trying to poach you over for a long time.
Yeah. And even with them, you know, and you can ring up absolutely anyone. They had, I think, close to 4,000 members. It was going to heyday.
Yeah. Did you have a role?
No, it was purely just a Facebook page.
Yeah, right.
So they started that group because there was other Facebook pages where they used to bash bikes, they used to bash riders and all that sort of stuff. And they said, we just want to ride.
Yeah.
And then, you could ring up anyone
huge,
on Saturday.
Didn't it?
It got massive.
Yeah.
And then I say this, and I think everyone's felt it as well. The day my brother-in-law passed away was the day that
It ended.
there was no heart left. It was the heart and soul.
Even though it's still kind of going now.
Still going. I unfortunately am no longer with it. There's no heart and soul.
You lost the passion.
Yeah.
It's lost that connection. Like there's still some really good blokes over there we've spoken to and rode with in the past. It's just, it's a different entity now.
Yep.
And the other leader has obviously taken a step back as well because he had the same loss. Yeah, he had the same feeling.
Started it with his best mate and, couldn't do it on his own. He just, mental health wise, just couldn't do it anymore, didn't have the passion for it. And goes, I need to do something for my mental health. I need to step away.
Do you find the support with Rust Nuts now more so?
Definitely.
More so than...
I can reach out to absolutely anybody.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it too.
Yeah.
Little things, I'm not great with carpentry. I can do the job. I'm jack of all trades, master of none. Struggle with something. I rang one of the boys, rang Chad, and I go, look, mate, I'm struggling with this. Sure enough, he was there.
Yep.
He assisted me. Ring Jeff. Jeff, sorry, mate, I need the van. Oh, Hambo's got the van. Message you. Yep, grab it.
No dramas, come get it, mate. Yeah.
So it's been...
I think one of the big things is we're not all from the same walk of life. Everyone does something different. Everyone brings something different to the club.
Yeah.
The girls in the club are really handy to have around. Like they, keep us guided and in the right direction. Big frustration for them is, 20 blokes like, who's organising this ride? Like, we don't have to organise it. We just say there's a ride and then it happens. And no, you need to set dates. You need to set this.
Oh, yeah. It's good to have that reminder as well, isn't it? Because you just don't think about everything like that. It's good to have all the different...
The detail-orientated stuff. It's really been going well.
Yeah, there is a lot that goes along with planning rides.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think I've planned 1 or 2 in the past. So I've planned quite a few learner rides. Great with the learners, teaching them how to corner and all that, especially going up through Hillsville.
Yeah, I think you took me on a ride as well, once up through up around back of the airport there.
Yep. Arundel Road near Star Trek.
Really, really good twisties through there. Yeah. It's just like it's not a long stretch. It's probably 3 or 4K.
Yeah, it goes from Star Trek in Tullamarine, goes around the back and then up to Green Gully Road.
Yeah, cool.
So you can do that up and back as many times as you want.
It's like you're going down the Great Ocean.
Yeah, cool.
Some really
that's good.
Really good.
I'll have to do that. Put it on the to-do list.
Getting a bit more into the mental health stuff. I know your story quite well. And what's the biggest mental health challenge you've had to overcome? And
so we've obviously spoken in great detail.
We don't have to. As far as you're go, mate. So.
You've been my rock through quite a bit. I've been very open and honest. Yeah. Anyone that asks, I talk about it.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's not hard. Google my name, you'll see what's happened.
Yeah.
Losing my dad. I won't go into the extreme details of it, but it was tragic circumstances. Mum ended up in hospital as well. Yeah. The way I found out sort of set me off.
Yeah.
Just got a phone call from uncle saying, something's wrong with your dad.
I've had that phone call.
And I've gone, what do you mean? He goes, something's wrong. You need to get here. And I go, what do you mean something's wrong? Yeah. And then I just got your dad's dead.
Oh,
Just gone.
fuck.
Yeah.
All right,
Drop.
no problem. Dropped everything, rushing over. Well, that was hard. The hardest part wasn't so much what happened, it's the aftermath.
Yeah.
So dealing with cops, dealing with news reporters calling me at all hours of the day. Even had news reporters ringing my dad's phone
Yeah.
and going, "You've rung my dad's phone."
Yeah.
And they go, "Yeah, well, we didn't know who to call." I go, "Well, we clearly didn't want you ringing me."
Yes, no good.
Yeah.
Fall out from family
Yeah.
was massive. Mum in hospital for 2 weeks, multiple surgeries, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
During that, planning dad's funeral, so I didn't even get a chance to
Actually do anything.
actually think.
Yeah.
Did you have
What's going
people
on?
helping you? You got brothers or sisters? Or?
No brothers or sisters.
Okay, yeah. It's all on your
wife-
shoulders, mate. Fucking hell.
My wife and my wife's family
Yeah.
helped as much as they could.
Yeah.
But I've always been, because I was an only child, I believed everything fell on my shoulders. So
Yeah.
I had to
Took
stand up and
much as you-
take everything
Mate.
and do absolutely everything.
Yeah, I had to stand up at my brother's funeral. I mean, Dad wrote a pretty powerful speech, but he said he couldn't do it, so I had to stand up for it. It was fucking nearly impossible.
Yeah.
And I remember that phone call. He phoned me saying, fucking ring home now was the voice message. And I thought, fuck, the bills, the debt collectors have caught up. And then, as soon as I spoke to him, it was like, I fucking knew it. It was fucking painful.
Yeah.
And I was stuck in Australia for 2 weeks. I couldn't, 2 weeks? Oh, it was a few days before I could actually get a fucking plane out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
It's not nice.
it took 3 or 4 months for it to actually
Sink.
sink in.
Yeah.
So back then I was managing a pub and obviously my face was plastered all over newspapers, news articles, was on the news.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I'd go, I can't work face to face with people at the moment. I've got to be a bit more
Yeah.
concealed.
So how long did it take your mum to get out of hospital?
It was 2 weeks until she got home. And then she moved in with us because
Yeah.
she didn't want to be at the house with everything that
Yeah,
happened.
cool.
Yeah.
So then I think she stayed with us for about a month and a half.
Yep.
And then I sort of went, I understand things have happened, but you're asking me to drive you places. You're capable of driving.
Yep.
And she goes, I don't feel confident. I've lost a little bit in my hand. And I've gone, well, you've got to be independent. Yeah. You've
Yep.
been driving for 40 years, 50 years. I go, what's different now? So I had to build her up, build up her confidence, get her doing things, getting her cooking, getting her doing absolutely everything, not
Yeah.
being
Much better now, of
being
course.
made. Yeah.
Much
Living
better now.
independently, got her house, goes out, does
Nah, that's
absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And then once sort of the dust settled, I was working in a warehouse, and then all of a sudden one day it just went bang, everything
Yeah.
hit me all at once. Went up to the manager at the time and I go, I got to go. He goes, where? What's wrong? I go, I don't know.
Yeah.
Uncontrollably crying, can't control my emotions. I go, I need to get out of here because I'm feeling claustrophobic. He goes, mate, you're in a big warehouse. I go,
Yeah.
I don't care where I am.
Panic,
I go,
panic attacks and depression can't be explained all the time, especially if people who don't know who haven't been through it themselves.
correct. And my first phone call was to my brother-in-law, Judd.
Yeah.
Speaking with him, just having a conversation with him because he's been through, or he went through the depression route, was antidepressants. He spoke about how much better he felt once he got
Yeah.
onto it and all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. He was my first phone call. I go, mate, I don't know what to do. And he sat on the phone with me. I think it was about 45 minutes, just talking me through it.
Good.
In that time, made an appointment with the doctor, spoke to the doctor, got on the antidepressants pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably about 3 or 4 months later, did quite a few cycles on it, and I'm going, I'm feeling good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't feel like it's this. I feel like it's me mentally. I'm actually
Yeah.
feeling a lot better. So what I started to do is wean myself off. Instead of one tablet a day, I'd go once every second day, then once every third day, once every fourth day, and then one a week,
Stopped.
and then I
Yeah.
just stopped it.
Yeah.
But not realizing that during that time that I was on it, the stuff, easiest way to put it, I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say anything.
It
on them.
can numb you out a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But the lasting effects from it is, I'm sure everyone's probably spoken about it. I'm not oblivious to it. I'm a very sheltered person. I'm not going to just approach someone and have a conversation. If someone wants to have a conversation, I've got no issues. I'll talk all day.
Yeah, exactly. Ask me a question, I'll give you an answer.
Correct. And
If I'm not comfortable, I'll tell you I'm not comfortable.
You're hardly a wallflower though. Like
yeah,
you're definitely an approachable bloke.
yeah. I also hear that I'm not approachable because I look like I don't want to be spoken to. And To some degree, I agree.
Yeah, well, that's comes back to our career as well.
Yeah.
I've said it before. We talk for a living. I get home some days. The wife's like, "Oh, how was your day?" I'm like, "Good."
Yep.
That's all.
So me and the wife have the understanding that we call each other on the way home, so we don't have to talk when we get home. So we go, I don't want to. Once I'm home, I'm shut off.
Can I just relax? I need to reset.
Correct.
So speaking of mental health, and you obviously went through quite a bit with that story. We have not given you guys a great deal of detail on that for reasons. So don't think we're giving you assumed knowledge there. There is a very good reason we haven't gone into detail. How long did it take you to actually be comfortable to open up about talking about that sort of thing?
It took me a while. I'm not saying I'm from the generation of boys don't cry because, mum didn't raise me that way. Boys do cry, just don't let anyone see your tears sort of deal.
Yeah.
It was probably 2 or 3 years afterwards.
Yeah.
So I attempted speaking to a psych for a bit or received therapy, didn't bond well, tried another one, didn't bond well. And I went, well, maybe I just don't want to talk about it. It was about 2 or 3 years later where I spoke to one person and fantastic conversation just flowed and I felt really good about it. I was able to talk about stuff that was happening at home because obviously my mental health was affecting my relationship with my wife.
Yeah.
And even back then we had discussions there. We were on the verge of ending things because we weren't seeing eye to eye. Things weren't going correctly. Yep. Now we're obviously in a better spot. We have our tips. As we do.
Sweet, yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to hug your wife around the throat every now and then, something's not right, but same goes ways, obviously.
Sometimes they like it.
Yes. It took me quite a while to open up, but now anyone that asks me about it, I'm open and honest. I don't hide it anymore because, like I said, everything's on the internet anyway, so...
Yeah, we won't be putting your name with this episode.
Nah, that's fine.
How do you balance the freedom of riding with all the other life responsibilities? You kind of said you don't ride a lot.
I get out on rides.
Yeah.
Before we discussed it, it's all about planning.
Yeah.
When I'm ready for it, I can go, yep, beautiful, this day I'm going out riding. My wife's become a lot more involved in the club now, coming to meetings and...
Yeah, it's good. We're all a big family about it.
Yeah. It's really jumping in. So if I say, sorry, I got a club ride, it's no issue.
Yeah.
Well, the only issue is she goes, can I come? And I'm like, no.
Unless we organise a massive ride and change the date last minute and you've got a wedding on. That was a bit rough, that one. But
and unfortunately the Sunday was pissing down with rain. So I was planning on...
Great day.
I was planning on riding up to meet it all and I'm like, I don't know if we risk it.
Maybe not. And we tried to stay away from the rain. We waited there for ages. We probably would have been better off just riding in it.
That campsite we stayed at for our overnight ride, we were like, it's like 6 a.m. Most of us are still sort of kicking on. I'm like, we should go because it's meant to rain bad today. And everybody's like, no, we'll leave at 10. We'll leave at 10. Like, just we'll go.
Fucking blame me.
No, it was fucking your idea, mate. And then, so got to 9 and it just
pissed down. It was meant to stop at 10.
I didn't stop for 5 hours. We were like real late getting out of there, but...
Well, funny enough, I think that day I went to the Strawberry Cherry Festival in Bacchus Marsh. My wife goes, I think it's meant to be all right. Can we ride? And I went, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah.
What's there to lose? So I rode up there. We stayed at the pub for a little bit. I had to run errands to go meet a couple of trades at the house. Come back, wind blowing a gale. And I'm like, all right. All of a sudden, rain came and I'm like, all right. I guess I'm riding home in this. So I'm not going to wait. So I rode home, started to hail. Good fun. Lost the rear tyre on the freeway, hit a white line and a little bit of a puddle and accelerated all at the same time. So for those who were driving along the Western Freeway that day, I wasn't trying to intentionally fishtail. I just controlled it really well, apparently.
Yeah.
Got home, grabbed the car, drove back up to Bacchus Marsh and sure enough, the sun was shining like it never rained.
Yeah.
So
we had a little bit of rain and then it cleared up. Just enough to make you wet.
Just enough to ruin it.
Yep.
That's all right. So you see your motorbike as a bit of antidepressant as well?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's been days where I get home, rough day, and I'll jump on the bike. I won't ride all the time because I'm a big believer in never ride angry.
Yeah.
Need to be clear-headed. So I'll sit on the bike, I'll start it up, just sit there, and then I'll get in my head. If I start to come down, I'll take off.
Yeah.
If I don't come down, bike goes back in the garage.
Yeah, it's a good way to go about it. We have a stressful job, you and I, doing the training and assessing stuff. We deal with a lot of people who on the lower socioeconomic intelligence
if you ask them to make
freshly into the country.
If you ask them to make an omelette, they'd add the actual shell.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to describe them.
So simple.
It can be quite draining. So coming home, I know you and your wife have you deal to keep it silent, stuff like that. Riding taught you anything about dealing with relationships or anything you can take away from bikes that you can add into how you deal with situations? Like obviously the making sure you're in the right frame of mind is a brilliant tip to give to our listeners.
Yep.
But
I think the best thing about the bike is the bike doesn't talk back.
very true.
It doesn't argue. You pull that throttle, it goes, okay, we're going. Let's hit that brake, it goes, okay, we're stopping.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I shared a Instagram reel for our page not long ago that said my bike's exhaust has screamed sometimes when I couldn't.
Yeah, that's good.
That's take it out on the bike.
So have you had any advice? Do you have any advice for anybody with mental health issues going through a bit of tough times at the moment, like reaching out?
Reach out to somebody. Talking about it does help. Look, when you do talk about it, yes, it hurts, brings up memories. The more you talk about it, the less it hurts.
Yeah, agreed.
It's even with grief, whatever you may be going through, no one ever fully heals. Don't buy into anything that says, talking to someone's going to be the be all end all.
Yep.
Talking to somebody helps.
Yeah.
And no one needs the weight of the world on their shoulders. Spread that weight amongst mates. Mates are there. They may not know that you're actually going through anything.
I had it for a long time.
Yeah.
I did. I kept it quiet. I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And I think the most important part is talking to people and sharing.
Yeah.
I remember coming into your place and you were the lowest I'd ever seen you. And I was like, mate, how did I not know it was this bad?
There's some tough fucking spots sometimes,
Yeah.
Like you lean on your mates and you can get through it.
Yeah.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Well, they say the pain doesn't get smaller. You just get better at handling it.
Correct.
Well, like I said, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
It's always going to be there. I mean, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. You need to find that person you can talk to and bounce it. And be that person for somebody else as well. You've got to be open to that as well.
And if I can share with one thing with everyone, it's if you're walking down the street, you see someone that's looks sad, smile at them.
Yeah.
Smile goes a long way. There was a story, I can't remember where it was. I know it was in America. Someone had unfortunately gone off the bridge and left a note at home, and it says, if one person smiles at me on my way there, I'll be okay. You don't realize how much a smile
Can change somebody's day.
Change someone's day.
Yeah. I'm a big person on the impact you can have on the people around you in a way that's not even, you don't even realize.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self during the hard time, what would you say?
It's a tough question, that one.
Yeah.
What would I say to myself in a younger time? Things will be okay. With every dark day, there's a sunny day following it.
That's good.
I love
Good
that.
advice.
There was a motto that I heard or a quote that I heard. There's a reason why your rearview mirror is smaller than your windscreen. You're meant to look forward and not look behind you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So,
we had the conversation where, if you could go back and change things you knew, like if you go back to, 15-year-old self and know where your life was going to go, how much would you actually change? And I'm like, I've been through this shit, but it's everything that's happened
For a reason.
has made me who I am today.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with who I am today. So,
and
I've made some bad choices, but
oh, hell yeah.
it's made me who I am.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change it for anything.
I think some of the bad choices we make are lessons.
Correct.
They teach you how to handle certain situations. Like, all right, did that last time. That was a bad idea. Let's not do that again. Yeah. How can we make that better?
I did that with a car cigarette lighter. When I was 5 years old and I went, oof, that hurts. Got to 12 years old and I won go, that actually hurt. Ooh, yes. And I did it at 18 years old. I went, ooh, that hurts. Lucky for us, there's no more cigarette lighters.
quick learner there.
At my age now, I'd probably still try it.
Ooh, piece of candy. When you're on the bike, you headphones, music, chat with somebody in your own head. How do you like to go down the road?
More lately, I prefer to just have music on.
Yeah.
I have different playlists for different types of riding.
Yeah.
Big club rides that we do where it's going to be a lot of straight roads. I typically listen to my metal music and really hammer that home. If we're doing twisties, funny enough, I listen to a lot of country music. Tends to mellow me out, so I'm not trying to twist as hard or try to overachieve when I'm riding. Learned that the hard way on the R6. I was listening to metal and went a little bit too hard.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I won't say the speed, but I had the speed wobbles for about kilometre and a half.
Oh, I've seen
Thought I was
videos
coming
like that. I've never experienced anything like that. Oh, in
Tank
fact,
flappers.
the bike in Thailand
Takes the
you take your hands off the steering wheel and it fucking wobble like fuck.
Well, the thing that makes the bike wobble is you.
Yeah.
Your arms are trying to correct everything. So
Yeah.
all you got to do is
Just relax.
don't grab the throttle, don't touch the brakes, relax, let the bike do what it does. Once you feel it's sort of in line, throttle out, you'll control it.
Power out.
I didn't have the dampener on mine, so
When in doubt, power out.
When in doubt, power out.
correct.
Kept me alive a couple of times. Oh, shit, gone too hard there. Just keep going. Yeah, last thing you want to do is slam on the brakes and cause all sorts of mischief.
Yep, it's instinctive though. A lot of people tend to go, oh, this isn't right, maybe I should brake. It's the worst possible thing you can do.
Yeah.
Not realizing all you have to do is take your hand off the throttle, let it slow down. Once you're correct, accelerate, push yourself out of it.
Yeah, I think maybe doing a riding day might be more beneficial for some of us.
Yeah, look, I did the ride course with Bear, the advanced cornering course, because I'm one of these dickheads who rides around on a Vikla with the big massive handlebars 10 feet above my head. So learning how to corner on that type of bike is a bit different to a sports bike or dirt bike. Or I jump on your VFR. It's completely different skill set. Riding my bikes, it's not fast.
I love that.
It's got a lot of torque. Like
I love being up with my arms in the air. It just puts you in a stance. You feel like a muscle man.
I always thought, like when you're a kid, you pass that guy on a bike and he's got his arms up on the big ape hanger.
I remember that as a kid.
And you're like, that guy's freaking cool.
We
you
lived
don't realize he's hanging on for dear life because his whole body's like a parachute. But
we lived on a main road back home in New Zealand, and I remember the bikies going past. I was riding Dad's old bike up and down the road, and I remember putting my feet out in front of me like I was having my feet on the highway pegs.
Yeah,
And I went over a bump and I burnt the inside of my leg. But I hid it from Mum and Dad. I didn't tell them, but it like left a massive blister. Yeah, like
I've got one on my leg at the moment.
I've got two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked the bikies getting past. I always wanted to be a big bikie.
Yeah. I grew up with my old man, not in a 1% club, but very closely associated with one, and knew a lot of the guys. And like I said, growing up, I had that opportunity, and I was like, yeah, that's probably not the way I want to go. Like, not saying it's a bad thing. There's definitely it's a family for those guys, and they take that shit seriously, and I love them for it. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And I remember going to the Bros Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
It's a different environment than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a bit of sacrifice that needs to be made, but there's a lot that comes out of it.
Get a lot out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. For some, it's worth the sacrifice
Definitely.
to do so.
Yeah, well, that's where I was at too. Like, I've got family. You didn't have family. You could feel like you're getting a family from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, I didn't appeal to me because I actually had a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mum and Dad, I don't know how, they love rust nuts, I think, now. I think they're slowly growing.
I think your dad actually realizes what we're about.
Yeah.
I think he was a bit worried that you would
being a
joining something like a
bikie club.
like a bikie club. Yeah, I think Australia's the only ones in the world that call them bikies, aren't we? Probably bikers. Yeah. brother.
Yeah, no, even with the club name, the Rust Nuts, I think I put in the chat today. I was driving to work in my own little world.
Yeah.
We had my window
We
half
spoke
down,
about it last week.
and all I hear is a toot from a truck, and I'm going, what have I done wrong? I look over, and then he's like, hey, Rust Nuts. And I'm like, what's going on, brother? I didn't hear the Rust Nuts to begin with. I'm like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've been driving around in Jeff's van every now and then, and you get the random toots, and it scares me sometimes. It's a very recognisable van.
Yeah, very much so. Like,
couldn't miss it.
Yeah.
the funniest story about that was I got a phone call from my ex-wife, and she's like, who's driving your car? And I was like, why? She goes, I was just down at the Macca's and there's this big dude and I ran up to say g'day. And
Fancy that. I met your ex-wife.
Nah, she's all right.
Yeah, she is right.
What's next for you, mate? Any big rides coming up? Anything you're excited about? I know you've one of the big achievements in life. You've just bought a new house with the missus. That's massive. So congratulations on that.
Doing the renovations, hoping to move in next weekend. See how we go. Still got quite a bit of work to do. We'll be working all weekend, all week.
Well, you can tell Danny by the time this episode comes out, next weekend's actually a pretty decent timeline for you to actually get it done. It'll be a couple of weeks.
Then next big ride, probably the ride from my mum's place to the new place.
Yeah.
Take the bike there, and after that, once the house is settled and all that, I'm sure Mrs. will ask me, you want to jump on the bike and go for a ride? And sure enough, I will. Did that for her birthday, I believe. I go, what do you want for your birthday? She goes, to go for a ride. I'm like, all right, done.
Perfect. Yeah.
So she's definitely into. She loves the bikes.
I love that Danny bought you a Harley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it might have been your money, but she's the one who went, you need to go get a Harley.
Took a little bit of convincing.
Yeah.
I go, look, I've got a V-Star, struggle on the rides a little bit. It's a good bike, but, I think I need a little bit better.
The V-Star is a good bike.
I think on the Pres run, I was keeping up with as best I could to the rest of the pack. The V-Star caps out at some point, and it's not the most nimble a bike.
Yeah, actually, I like riding them.
Yeah, they did all right. Yeah.
Bad. Yeah, pull me around. I'm not a light person.
You make my bike go harder than I ever could.
I love every bike, mate. I can't help it.
I've got to say, the one thing I'm excited about on the Harley, I actually have a fuel gauge.
Yeah.
I think it's the first bike I've had
with a proper
since my Lamb's bike that it actually had a fuel gauge on it.
Yeah, nice.
I've had the V-Star riding somewhere. I think we're pulling up and I was near a servo and all of a sudden, reserve.
I don't think my V-Star had a speedo for most of the time.
I got it working. It lasted about 6 weeks.
Yeah, it broke again.
Still remember when we went for a ride, you, me and Rosso were like, oh yeah, we'll go for a ride. You got enough fuel? Yeah, no problem. Out through the back of Ainsbury. Got up near Melton and all of a sudden,
I had to push
reserve.
So far. That was already on reserve. Really good judgment on my behalf.
Lucky for the new shopping centre out in Melton.
Thank God for that.
That there was a servo there because I think the next one was about 3 Ks down the road.
Yeah.
There was so much bloody junk in those carbies, buddy, when I cleaned them out.
Yeah. It ran it dry quite a few times.
Yeah.
My cousin's still running around on it.
I remember Dad saying out in the shed, I used to hang out in the shed quite a bit. He said, what are you doing out there? Sniffing petrol? I wasn't, but I fucking sure was. After he fucking told me that.
Kind of, but wasn't the plan at the start. Fafo, thanks for coming in, mate. Being our first official guest on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for the years of friendship. Many more to come, hopefully.
Definitely many more to come.
He's our treasurer for the club, so he's going to be...
and he does,
he ain't going anywhere.
He does a great job at it too.
Mate, yeah.
I'm good with other people's money, not so good with
That's good. Thanks a lot, listeners. I look forward to your comments.
Follow us on the socials. The outro's got a bit more information for you guys.
Throw up a picture of your bike.
Yeah, send us through a picture of your bike. You on the bike?
Take a good one.
All right, thanks, guys.
See you, mate. Thanks for riding with us today on Twist the Throttle. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Remember, no matter how tough the road gets, you're never riding alone. Stay safe, stay open, and catch you on the next ride. Keep that throttle twisted.